Welcome back to Try Before We Die, the whiskey review show where we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. I know what Mal's thinking. How does he get out of this chicken beep outfit? We got Larry on set.
We do have Larry.
Second time on the show, Larry. Good to have you back.
Can we call him a local superfan?
A local superfan. Local superfan. Before we get into all that and what we're going to call Larry, why don't we find out what we're drinking?
I'm going to press the button.
You're going to press the button. Going to touch Randy. Make sure you hold it real good. Push it. Push it real good.
You know what would be great is if it pulled a number that you didn't even have a bottle where
that bottle, it doesn't
And
exist.
I know there's a space here somewhere.
Yeah, I got a plan. 193. That's going to put us on the back side, which could be in one of those gaps. We'll find out together as we go around to find bottle 193. We'll come back with local superfan Larry.
All right.
All right, we'll see everybody.
Let's do it.
Here we are on the backside for bottle 193. Well, we know we're at 48, so we're at 58, 68, 78, 88, 89, 90, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And it's the Lochlea. And this bottle actually arrived at this bar within the last week. This is their cask strength batch number 1. This Lowland Region Distillery, Lochlea. And they're coming in at, looks like 60.1%. We'll double check at the bar. As we can see, we have a squat bottle. Everything is a bit smaller on the bottle. So the numbers are hard to see. But batch number 1, cask strength, just acquired. This will be both myself and Malcolm's first time having a Lochlea, and I will also bet it's Larry's first time. So for this Lowland Region Distillery, we'll see everybody back at the bar as we crack this bottle.
Try before we die with a bearded man and a British guy.
Did you know that bottle 193 brought us to a Lochlea?
Never heard of it. But I know some facts about it. That is probably going to be one of the quickest bottles in and out of this place.
Oh, so you're referencing that it's just arrived.
Like literally.
Bingo bango. This happened to us once before where a bottle that just arrived got pulled.
Oh,
I think Derek brought us the...
I don't remember what it was, but you're right.
The Speyburn.
Yes, that is correct.
All right. As always, whether it just got here or it's been here covered in dust that I've recently cleaned off, if the number comes up, we open it.
It's almost like a perfume bottle.
Let's see, what does this say? Dare to be honest and fear no labor. I'd like that to become your motto.
Really? I don't know if I can.
Whoa! Just
entered very silently.
Really? Wow, okay.
Stealth.
That was stealthy. I thought you broke it.
yeah, no, there it is. I love this bottle.
It's like a perfume bottle.
Lochlea Distillery, Ayrshire, Scotland. Yep, both sides. It's a beautiful bottle. Oh, we'll pour it there.
There you go.
You're slacking on the lids.
Yes, usually we have them off. Nice.
All right, so this cask strength Lochlea. The words are awful small, local ingredients, but I'll give Mal a fun fact. So batch number 1, cask strength, 60.1, first fill bourbon and Oloroso sherry casks, non-chill filtered, no color added. What do we know about Lochlea?
It's a Lowland.
It's a Lowland. I'm asking Mal to reflect on a WTF. We did one on Lochlea.
Never gonna remember it.
So it's a working farm.
Okay.
Who might have spent some time at this farm? Highly relevant in the Scotch world. In the Scot world. Every year, there's a event for this man.
Burns?
Yes.
Robert Burns?
Yeah.
Really?
Spent some time on Lochlea Farm.
Huh.
If I'm wrong, I'll own it in a TBWD fact, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate information.
All right.
Yep. They've recently, put out their whole first series of releases. The first crop, they called them. They used to be up there, they're over there. But this is their first batch of a cask strength.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, right? Before we get Larry involved in this conversation, right? So we literally...
Which means actually.
Scotch Ferry, gone on our trips. We have a
If you put an empty bottle under your pillow at night or on your bar at night, in the morning, sometimes it'll be littered with whiskey bottles. That's the Scotch Ferry.
right.
Yeah.
So in this process, why did you end up picking that bottle? What drew you to it? That's what I'm going to go for.
Well, what drew me to this, again, is though we have our local super fan, Larry, here, I actually have one of our regular chat contributors, Simon, jumps in and has expressed, being thankful to see some Lochleas in the bar. And when I saw batch number 1 of the cask strength available in the last shop we were at on our whiskey trip, I really said to him, have to get this one.
Okay.
Big fan of the batch strength, the cask
strength.
strength, the 60.1s. Love tasting what a Scotch tastes like coming out of the barrel. Like, that's what nature provided. Of course, we have a no age statement here. We're bourbon and Oloroso sherry cask first fill, which means what? First fill.
Used once, then freaking used for that.
Right. Held the bourbon or held the sherry, and then the next thing it held
Was this.
was this. Right.
Isn't it unusual for Lowland to be done in Oloroso sherry casks?
So thank you, Larry. So Lowland, often very well known as a very light, easy, almost like a lighter version of a classic Speyside.
Correct.
Very grassy, very hay, very heathery. So what we've seen a lot recently, Larry, is this idea is that the classic regional profiles have gotten confused as distilleries will, from the Highlands, will do a peated release. From the Lowlands, will do a sherried finish, right? So we're seeing a lot of crossover from the historical origins of the regions, right? So yeah, absolutely. And Lowlands has seen an explosion in new distilleries. So we have some of the King Barns here as well that we haven't had. So this is our first Lochlea.
Now, just to throw this one out, it seems like a little bit of an oxymoron that Lowlands are known for easygoing, not going to test you too hard, alcohol content's there, but it's not really. To do a cask strength seems like it goes completely against the grain of what Lowlands are known for.
Well, so I think what you want to recall, right, is historically the regions too, whiskeys were produced for what main process?
Medicine?
Sure, cures what ails you.
No. No.
Blending, right? So whiskeys were produced for blending. So each region had a sort of a classic expression, and then they were married together to create ultimately a very consistent release that was predictable.
Okay.
Right? So the regional profiles were then married together to create this is that.
All right.
Right? And so your question about the cask strength being a little off brand for a lowland region, I think what we're seeing is a lot of the single malt market is trying to reach a broader audience.
Okay.
Right, and so somebody who's more interested in a little bit of a robust whiskey might traditionally steer away from a lowland because, I don't want that light, that floral, that
Correct.
fragrant, right? But I have this cask strength, so now I'm going to maybe get a little bit of that
I'm gonna
robust.
try it.
And it's got the Oloroso finish.
All right.
Right?
That makes sense.
Is that a fair answer to your
Yep, that
question?
is extremely fair.
All right, so I'm going to pass these out. Larry, you've been on the show before. It's great to have you back.
I love being here.
We were
As we all do.
we were chatting earlier. You were saying that you and married. You're married, right? Your wife. You
Yes.
you watch the show every Saturday night when the regular episodes
When
come
the
out.
regular episode comes on, we'll sit down with a cocktail and we'll start watching the show. We've now been able to turn your So 25-minute show in about an hour and a half.
Does that mean we're hitting pause?
Pause, rewinding. What did he say?
Yeah.
We're laughing and
Yeah.
commenting on Mal's hair.
It's probably your velvety, what is it?
Liquid velvet voice.
Liquid
But
velvet voice.
I like the let's talk a little bit about Mal's hair. Right? You got this facial hair thing going on and this top of your skull thing
And the
going
color?
on.
The colors are?
Yeah. But Larry, we appreciate your continued interest in
Viewership.
the show.
Yeah.
Right. And checking it out and promoting it within, your circle away from us.
Yes.
Right. It's,
Much appreciated.
It's really great.
You're now being seen down in Mexico.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, we are.
We're big in Mexico.
We are.
Yeah.
4 viewers.
If you're in Mexico watching this, hit that subscribe button. All right, let's talk a little bit about color here. This Bourbon Oloroso, no color added, no age statement, 60.1%. Medium amber,
Yeah.
right? It's not a dark amber.
Light gold.
Yeah, I like light gold as well.
Yep. Trying to think what other sort of clever color could we come up with, right? There's a little bit of a summer honey. Maybe.
Aged straw I'm going to throw out there just because I wanted to use it.
Okay, aged straw. So Mal says the hay bales in the back of the barn that have
Yep.
sat there for 5 months. All right. It's a nice color.
It is a nice color.
All right, now I'm gonna just.
It's leggy.
You getting legs, Larry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him on Larry's. With that picture behind him, you can see him.
It washes really nice. I'm really excited to try this for really 2 reasons. I love the cask strengths and first time with a new distillery.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit in trepidation with the 60 of Lowland. I'm like, how do they do this?
Yeah. Well, they certainly haven't cut it down, right? All right, so we're in this lighter gold, medium amber. We feel it's clean, it's washing. We're seeing some legs happen. It's not, oh, I've got some nice long leggy ones here. And so do you. You're developing. Should we nose it?
No.
Okay. Woo!
Yeah. Okay, so that's it.
So that's cask strength. Right, Larry?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm gonna come back at it now. Woo! Still there.
It's still, I mean, it's definitely lingering. Like, I think I just bumped my left nostril.
It's sharp. It's real sharp. I mean, I'm absolutely getting the Oloroso, right? I'm really getting that sherry that's, penetrating this very strong alcohol.
I'm getting sherry, but I'm not getting any of the vanilla from a bourbon.
Right. That feels like that might be being overpowered right now. I'm getting some dark notes. Again, I think those are the ones that are going to come through with this high ABV.
Like a lemon.
Like a lemon. Lemon to the lime.
Like a lemon, like lemon meringue. Lemon cake.
All right, so there are no notes on the back. The very small words are all about the farm. We're focused on crafting and outstanding whiskey and all these things. So we have no notes. Batch number 1, though.
But it's a sweet smell. Now the alcohol is dissipating a little bit, the initial bang of it.
The thing I like
sweet.
The thing I like about early batches of anybody's release is it's the one where they're also trying to sort of create their reputation a little bit. We think of the Abelau or Abunad's, right? And it's those early batches that really created the monster that became what it is. And now into batch 76, 77, the fact that we get a batch 1 really is them putting forth almost like their best. Right, they're like, yeah, this is what it's going to be, and will somebody come back for a batch 2? So you were in a lemon cake.
Maybe no. Now I'm starting to veer away from that.
There's something sweet.
It's sweet, but I'm now starting to get some vanilla too.
Yeah. I was just going to say it's
And I
calmed
think that's
down,
what
and I
it
think
is.
the vanilla's coming through.
When you go back and forth,
I mean, it really has relaxed.
and maybe that's what it was, and the fact that
But that trapped aroma
yeah,
was incredibly sharp.
like it really did clear the nostrils out when you
Yep.
took that in.
Now I feel like I am nosing a little bit of a lowland, right? It feels a lot lighter. It feels a lot safer.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Are you ready?
Yeah,
to,
so the
ready-
vanilla- the vanilla.
It's very mild now.
Now the vanilla's there.
Yeah, but that dark chocolate was there in the beginning, and now the vanilla's coming through. And again, with the bourbon and the Oloroso, that makes sense. Are we ready to put our feet in the pool, gentlemen?
Yes, we are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Lochlea, batch 1, cask strength, 60.1. Here we go. All right, right off the bat, medium mouth. Pretty good. Pretty good mouth in there, right?
I
It's
brought
got.
some tears.
It's you guys. This is nothing. Look at Larry. Right. I think it's got some good viscosity. Right. It's not. This is going to thicken up over time. I can tell you that right now.
Yes.
You know, by being opened, I'm going to come back to this in 3 weeks, and this is going to be a very oily whiskey. I know that right away. It's not hitting me the way it hit you guys, right? Just based upon the watery eyes that I'm surrounded by. But I found it very pleasant. What do you got?
It coated your tongue, and you got that initial big hit from the high alcohol content.
Yeah.
But the flavor was awesome.
Yeah.
Even with that high alcohol content, the flavor was coming through that.
Yep. Yeah, no, it wasn't dominated by the alcohol.
No,
the
you-
alcohol is there, but
It made
the
your eyes
flavors.
water, but the flavor was
the flavors
so good.
are so present, right? See if Mal survives this one.
Yeah, there's like a taste there. There's a flavor there that's very predominant, and it may be being backed up by that sherry, sulfury sort of taste, but there's a flavor there that is so predominant.
Right. That sulfur is very minimal. It's there, right? Again, I mean, I really like this, right? It's got all the hallmarks of a whiskey that's going to develop in very short order now that it's been exposed to the air. It's going to breathe a little bit. This is a wonderful cask strength. You have a flavor you can't find.
You know what I want to throw out there? I want to throw out butterscotch.
All right, so that's interesting, right? Because we've already found, certainly I have, chocolate and vanilla, right? Butterscotch makes a lot of sense in terms of the way butterscotch plays in the mouth, because butterscotch is a pretty mouth-feel flavor.
Yes. But this is
I'm
good.
getting that citrusy.
All right. Well, there's that lemon you were talking
Yeah,
about
I was
earlier.
going to say it tasted like a lemon zest,
Yeah.
and it's on the front.
And what I will say, it completely throws the whole lowland landscape upside down.
Other than for me, I haven't been punched by this whiskey, right? You guys both took a punch,
Yeah.
right? Right. Which we all experience our own. I feel there is a lowland piece to this because the ABV is so high and how relaxed my experience has been with it.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, I am really impressed with this whiskey.
Oh.
For a distillery, just getting their feet underneath them, batch number 1. I really am just really pleased.
This is a well-crafted high ABV.
yeah,
The experience that me and Larry had is what you would expect from doing 60
yes,
plus, right?
yep,
But they've crafted it in a way that it's not continuously smashing you in the face. You're not getting punched every time. Once you take that initial hit and you stagger and you're on the ropes and you're looking and the stars are going round, but then you start to regain your senses, the subsequent tastes I've had have been absolutely fantastic because I know they've been backed up by 60%. I'm like, wow, this has got some flavor to it.
right. It's a wonderful marriage of the bourbon and the sherry casks,
Yes.
right? Because we're getting really equal experiences here. They've really put this together well. Larry, are you really picking up on some of the depth of the liquid? Are you finding
I
some
am.
of that thickness?
Yeah, it's very oily,
Yeah.
but I'm still amazed at the flavor that comes through with that high ABV. I would not know that's a lowland. If you didn't,
Right.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
an amazing scotch.
Yeah, it really is impressive.
It's vicious.
It's vicious. Well, if we were, so we're in, I mean, I think we're all been impressed with this Lochlea, this Lowland Cask Strength, high ABV. What would you do with this? Spicy smoked oysters, Atlantic peppered salmon, Glenfarclas smoked salmon, a pineapple, a dried pineapple, dried apple, aged cheddar, blackberry, strawberry, 2 chocolates. What would you do with this? Just have a conversation with your friends? What would you do with this?
Smoked oyster for me.
Smoked oyster
He
for
just
Larry.
wants that. This is what
Yeah. Well, I like to add a little smoke to this and see what that does to it.
Yeah, all right, so Larry says that. Grab a toothpick. What are you thinking?
Okay, so I really want to do the salt chocolate,
Yeah.
right? But I'm actually going to do a piece of the cheddar.
I'm going to do some of this peppered salmon, just because I think that pepper may do something nice. I like that we all pick something different. The peppered salmon really holds its own. It's not a complement to it. I think a chocolate would be the complement to it. I'll be curious about that spiced oyster, that smoky spiced oyster. It's fine. I don't know that if I was drafting a menu that I would be like the perfect match, but the peppered salmon is fine. What do you got with the cheddar?
In the same way we always deal with
Yep.
the creamy cheeses.
Yep.
It took the edge off a lot of things.
Yep.
And just helped with the digestion of the drink.
Yep.
There was no fight this time.
Yep.
It just, this cheese was there, the layer was there, and the alcohol just flowed across my tongue.
Yep.
I still had some of the taste.
Yep.
I wasn't just overwhelmed by the cheddar. But I had still some of the taste, but I didn't feel like I had to be like ready for that. Here it comes.
All right. Larry, where are you at with this slightly, you can see this chili pepper here, this slightly spiced smoked oyster.
So that was awesome. And I got the smoke from it.
Yep.
But when I took the sip, the ABV took away the smoke almost instantly.
Okay.
Okay.
So I wouldn't think they would pair well.
Yep.
Because it literally, the smoke dissipated just like that, and I could taste this again.
I feel like if I was gonna gamble, right, and if I had to bet, I think a chocolate is probably the best bet here with this high ABV because of the Oloroso casking
Yes.
here. I think that's going to be the one that sort of merges with this high ABV drink here the best.
Yes.
But I really appreciate that we all chose something different.
I think the better cheese would have been that Springbank that we used to have around here. I think
Yep.
that would have been a better cheese.
The Lochlea batch number 1 cask strength coming in at 60.1%. Great job, guys. Wow.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That really was nice.
Really is good. All right. Well, let's see what the crew has for us here. Well, this is, apropos for what we've just had here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because we've just put on a set. Here's to alcohol. The rose-colored glasses of life.
Cheers.
The Lochlea, the batch 1. Wow.
Okay, I'm going in with the chocolate. I want to do it.
I'm very, very pleased with this drink. I can't wait to come back to this in a few weeks and just find how this has matured with the exposure to the air. This is going to thicken up. I feel confident.
Okay, chocolate.
Just merges, right?
Yeah.
It just merges between the vanilla and the bourbon and the traditional sort of chocolatey notes with the Oloroso. I mean, it just feels like a perfect merge.
What it is just a fantastic high alcohol drink. They've done their due diligence to make it drinkable. Really.